horn. Is your horn tingling? Let's rub horns. Horns up, horns up, horns up, horns up, horns up. We are Unicorn Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the basement. We have an extra special guest today. Our friend Elizabeth Grace is joining us. She's a key member of our UFD community. A lot of you know her from her weekly crypto and UFD updates. Elizabeth, welcome to the basement live.
Thank you. Good morning, Dusters, and good morning, Ron. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a lot of fun today because, you know, community is everything, right? And yesterday during a spaces that we had, we compiled a list of everything that the UFD community is doing, and it just really blew me away. And I think there's even more, but at this point, I just want to read through this list of what this community has done. And I want to emphasize that everything I'm reading on this list was basically done because of the community, right? Like I started this I was the spark, but the community is who really created this fire, this evolving community that has become Unicorn Fart Dust.
Absolutely. Everybody's playing a part, and me being here is just a testament. You're allowing the community to come into your home, and I love that about Unicorn Fart Dust.
All right, I'm going to go through the list,
Okay.
And if I miss anything, you let me know. But we got a Kraken listing, raised over $100,000 US to get a market maker. We had billboards in New York City. We've got the best NFT projects around. I think now there's like 5 NFT projects growing in popularity. Those get the word out to new people that maybe are into NFTs, but maybe not meme coins. So it's gaining us exposure to a lot of those buttercups out there.
For sure.
We have the promotional card, the Duster. And you interrupt me anytime you want. We have spaces going on X where people can come in, feels like pretty much all the time. Overnight, people from all over the world are able to get together and talk about UFD. We have a sticker campaign, our artists that are creating these beautiful artworks and also creating stickers. We have a DJ on Friday nights.
DJ Litmus, let's go.
Right. I mean, enough said. We're doing a meetup here in St. Louis on June 20th, where people can come and see the Duster. That's where the Duster will be officially revealed, our promotional car.
And I just want to say quickly about that. I don't know any other meme coin community that's ever had a meetup, this early in the stages of the coin. So we're trendsetters for that, for sure.
That's a great point too. And as we look at all of this on this list, we have to remember that we're only 5 months old.
Yep.
We're only 5 months old. I mean, and all of this has already been accomplished, and we're only maybe not even halfway through the list.
Not even halfway.
Okay. We've got unbelievable memes and videos, short videos. People like, I could go on forever, Brian Life, Royal, all kinds of people. I can't even begin to list. You know who you are that are creating every single day these eye-catching pieces of artwork, both static artwork and short videos. Some of them, including me, doing some unsavory things, but I'm fine with that. I have a good sense of humor. We have you doing a weekly update. We'll look at that a little bit later here today. We're going to be at the Bitcoin conference. We're on TikTok. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook. We're on Reddit, right? Right now, we're streaming on X. We're streaming on LinkedIn. We're streaming on Facebook. We're streaming on Abstract Network, the Pudgy Penguins, Luca Nets Network. We've got the best contest. I mean, we just wrapped up this Coinbase Emma Bull ran and that's a lot of work. And one final time, I'll say hats off to Emma Bull. She did a great job. But we had like 125 people that entered Coinbase-focused memes into a contest. And we've had a lot of contests, Ledger, all kinds of things over the last 5 months. We've got the Burger Man. who else has a burger man, right? I mean, and he's in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Giving away burgers, had a great video in the contest. And I think that shows us that we're everywhere. I mean, if you talk to people in the UFD community that are in different countries or different areas at all, or have you noticed that?
Well, mostly the US and Canada, but I have noticed some from Europe. And of course, I've talked to Burger Man here and there. And so, yeah, it's great to have all over the world.
We're decentralized. We're all over the world. We've got great sponsors, which is really thanks to you guys, right? Again, Ledger, MoonPay. As a matter of fact, hold on, I'm going to scoot over a little bit. I'd like to say thank you to channel sponsor Ledger, the cryptocurrency hardware wallet security leader. And go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you to MoonPay.
They probably really appreciate having you do that, right? A different smiling, pretty face. So no, thanks to both of our sponsors, MoonPay and Ledger. Both of those companies are like top tier recognized leaders in their respective fields. Obviously, Ledger in the crypto security area and MoonPay in the fintech arena. I mean, they are like growing and innovating and on-ramping tens of millions of people into the crypto sector. So thank you to the sponsors. That worked in well. And we have merch, right?
Yeah,
and we're going to look at some later.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got great merch going on. We had the documentary, which again is in the works, right? An Emmy award-winning documentary crew. And we've had radio interviews, and I'm sure there's even more. But Elizabeth, what do you think? I mean, when we think like everybody, and then I'm going to let Elizabeth speak, right? But everybody says community is the bottom line when it comes to cryptocurrencies. And when I look at what you guys have done in this community, I can't see any other, or very few cryptos that stack up to what we've accomplished.
Yeah, this is a first for me. And you made the front page of the newspaper. So that's, other media attention there as well. So yeah, so many things we forgot on the list, I'm sure, over the past 5 months.
Yeah.
Last time I was here, it was February. So it's been a while.
Well, in the community continues to show up every day.
Yeah.
And something that I've noticed that has become real clear to me, in particular over the last 2 months, is that the quality of people in the community continues to get better and better and better. And that surprises me because it was really the quality of people from day one was great. But like the people that are committed, it feels like, to UFD.
Yeah.
Just the quality of the people, the morals and the ethics and the feeling that I get in their willingness to be open and help people feel like they belong and be sharing. It just feels like the group of people that we have continues to grow in numbers, but also it's just a really high quality group of people. Yeah,
absolutely. Diamond hooved.
Yeah. And people like you, I don't want to embarrass you, but like I've known you now for 2 or 3 months, and it's blatantly obvious to me, like you are a good-hearted, I guess that's I kept saying quality, but good-hearted people. Like you strike me as a very good-hearted person.
Well, you as well. And thank you. I noticed even just on my drive over here, you're like, it's okay. The traffic's really bad. Just get here safely.
Yeah, she was late. She was late.
You didn't care though. You were like, just as long as you're here safely. And I'm like, that's so caring and kind, and the community just works so hard as well. Everyone's got day jobs and families and things going on. And, the effort that they put in is just incredible day after day to see, all the posts online, and the commitment there is incredible.
Yeah. And when people need help, I've seen, dusters in the community step up and help people, either moral support, all types of great things have happened within the community. All right, let's watch a funny video because this one really got me yesterday. I think I may have retweeted it, but I'm going to pull this up and make it full screen, and we won't watch the whole thing, but this is a good one. This is the fun we have. Yeah, it's all about me. I guess I feel like a bit of a narcissist here showing this, but
In the basement with a jar of beans, he rides a stream of the timeline. Boomers don't dev, that's a lie you told. Man's got dust in his veins and a heart full of gold. They laughed at the name, said it couldn't
Susie
go
asked me
far,
the
but
other
every
day why
fart leaves a
on my
trail like a
LinkedIn
shooting
profile it
star.
said I'm
From
a
a quiet little
professional
stream where
unicorn
belief
rider.
runs deep, came a
really?
coin made of chaos, dreams and heat. Add breathe in, that's sacred dust. Judas born from the fringe, powered by trust. Starry horns to the sky, no shame, just us. Blew the fart in the wind.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, the artwork and the fun that this community has. And no, they called me and I had to do all these dance moves.
You'll remember the stank that
No,
made you
yeah,
cry.
right.
Soft little puff turns seismic quick.
Yeah,
So inhale
right.
deep, let the myth combust. Turns out the dust was all of us.
I will just watch it till the end. It's definitely AI because that's more the reality.
It's a bit trippy.
Yeah.
Psychedelic vibes.
All
It's
right.
kind of cool though.
Okay, let's get back here to everybody. All right, guys, we're back. The other big thing that's happening, or we're getting some big buys of UFD. I want to pull this up from yesterday. We had this post. Here we go. And this came from Starcatcher, some Giga Chad. I'm not sure. I'm going to ask Elizabeth here what Chad means. Just aped, I guess that means bought 87K of UFD to get 2 million beans in one clip. Whoever you are, respect. So, Elizabeth, do you know what a Chad is? I hear that word from time to time.
I would just say a Chad is a cool crypto dude, or I don't know,
With a lot of money.
Well,
and a Lambo and the whole thing.
Yeah, I guess
okay.
so. And you can be a Chadette as well.
A Chadette?
Giga Chadette.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know, 87K. That's like typical. They probably spend that on a dinner out. Or
Right.
Just kidding.
Right. Well, maybe if I ever get a Lambo. For now, I'm driving a 2012 Honda Odyssey minivan. But if I get a Lambo,
2014 Honda Civic.
There, all right, there we go. Yeah, but yeah, maybe I'll rent a Lambo for one day. I can
be cool. Well, the Duster's coming, so that'll be even cooler.
I'm gonna be the King Chad.
Dustermobile.
Yeah, the King Chad of all time.
When we all have our meetup in June, we'll have to ride it.
So I talk all the time about the jug. I guess I'll get it out. What the heck? I had to move it, but the jug, right? You guys know it. And can I shake it? It's very loud.
Yeah, you always do this.
So we have 999 million beans. You know that, right? Each one of those beans represents one of you. Hold on. Anyway, because over time we're going to fill this thing up. We're going to have a bean shortage and then a beanopoly. But I was watching a video last night about YouTube and YouTube videos, and the guy brought up a great point about viewers on YouTube videos. He's like, you might have 6 people join your video and 3 people drop off, as long as the net number is big. So I put this together to further demonstrate the idea of the jug. And I drew this picture and even uploaded it to the computer. I just want to show this, because I think this is important. There's our jug, right? 999 million beans. Make sure we're on the right screen, which we are, okay? If we get 6 new people, 6 new Diamond Hoof Dusters every day, and of course, people are going to drop out, right? People buy and sell. But if we get 6 in, and only 3 drop out on a daily basis, the net number of people coming in, as long as the net number is positive, we continue to fill the jug. Does that make sense, Elizabeth?
Yes. Yeah. Mathematically, that checks out.
Yeah. I mean, and it could be any number. It could be 100 new people coming in, 100 buys of people who are diamond hooved, and maybe 60 people aren't. They're just there to do a quick trade, whatever. But as long as day by day by day we continue to fill that jug up, eventually we wind up in a situation where there just aren't as many beans left, right? A bean shortage.
Yep.
And anytime there's a shortage, I did study economics when I was in college. Anytime there's a shortage of anything, the only thing that fixes that is price. Now, I forgot to add in, Neither myself or our friend Elizabeth Grace are providing financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Don't do anything, buy anything, adopt a puppy, get engaged, do anything based on anything that we say. But I own UFD beans, and I think it's safe to say that you do as well.
Yes.
So our horns are aligned with you. I forgot all the important stuff. Would you want to say horns up?
Horns up.
Horns up, dusters, horns up. And by the way, how did you get in my basement? Hey, you, huh? I'm going to start asking you, how did you get in my basement? But yeah, we'll have a shortage. And yeah, as long as the net number of people coming in, right? Because it's a market, people are going to buy and sell. But each day that we add a few more diamond hoof dusters gets us closer to this potential, right? I don't have a crystal ball that we do have a bean shortage. And with what we're seeing in the community, right? Don't forget, there's the list here. I guess I should hold it up there. If you guys want to screenshot that and look at it later, that's just some of the stuff. And at the bottom, I put the most important thing. See if you can read that. Not me, right? UFD is way bigger than me, okay? And that's good. You know, the community has grown and evolved in a way that it's become way, way bigger than just, I'm happy to do my part, right? But we got a lot of other people like Elizabeth who are doing their part as well.
Don't forget, though, you're Ron Toshi.
Ron Tashi, the Deegan. Ron Tashi, the Deegan. The Deegan. What else is going on here? I wanted to show our friend, well, one of our friends, the guy who's wearing the UFD shirt every day, and he's like on day 115.
My goodness.
Yeah,
he's committed to that.
He's committed, right? What a great community member. And he's actually, here I am talking about me again, my favorite subject, but he's actually in Budapest. And hold on here. Yeah. And he showed this picture, and I guess there's a couple lessons in this. Number one, when I was in college, I studied in Budapest for 6 months at Karl Marx University, which was still part of the Soviet Union. It was right before the Berlin Wall fell. And I went over there as an exchange student and studied economics at Karl Marx University. So I do know what I'm talking about when I talk about beanomics. That was beanomics, that picture I showed you before. But I used to ride those every day. That's called a Vilamoosh. And then he sent me a message back and said he was on a street. So here is proof that I know a little bit about economics and I can speak about beanomics. That is my student ID when I was at Karl Marx University. And I think it says 1990. And you can't read the stamp at the top, but it does say Karl Marx University. So I'm not a communist. That was back during the Cold War. Never was a communist, but, you know, I love capitalism. But, the lesson in that was, and it relates to what we're going on with UFD right now. I was a junior in college studying accounting, and I decided to take this opportunity to go and be an exchange student in Budapest. And people were like, all my friends, everybody was like, what are you doing? Why are you going to go to a communist country? That's crazy, right? I was 20 years old. And I was like, this seems interesting. And I can learn. When I look back, that was one of the best, most educational experiences I had in my life. And the lesson there is just, if you believe something's good and you believe something's right, don't listen to what everybody says. Because a lot of times what everybody says isn't right. And, you know, even with meme coins, right? We have our non-believers. We have people that don't believe in UFD, and that's good. Right. I mean, I feel like, you know I believe in UFD and I believe in the community and I see the real value there. There's always going to be non-believers. There's always going to be people who are going to be critical of you in life. And it's important, right? If you believe something and it's good to follow it.
Yeah, I have that conviction for UFD for sure. And it almost lights a fire inside of me even more when people are doubting it and thinking that, you know, it's not what it is. So yeah, it lights a fire in me.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you know, any great like movement that's occurred, whether it's religious, in some instances, or even countries, like when the United States was formed, there were a lot of non-believers, right? Mm-hmm. We had a Revolutionary War. There's people that don't like Apple products, right? There's people that don't like Tesla product or any big company. There's always like people out there that are going to think it's not good. And, and that's part of the process of any movement taking hold. So, there are UFD non-believers, and that's actually a good thing, because how do I say this? There's a great saying: the further up the mountain you climb, the harder the wind blows. Right? There'll be more people who will be, and the better you do. And we have people that I get this question all the time, because there's in the trenches, apparently people say this is the next UFD, or this is, or there's other tokens that have tried to kind of copy what we're doing. And I'm like, that's good, right? Because if we weren't successful, right, if we weren't having the success that we're having, that the people wouldn't be doing that.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's why you're the trendsetter, I would say, especially with the live streaming every day. I think that this is really the future of not just meme coins, but a lot of the social media in general is just going to go to more video content and promoting things through that with the coin and gaining a community and a following. That's our value, is our connection. And this is my part in fostering the connection, right? Sure, I'd love to meet up with you face to face every day, but we live on other different countries, and it's not possible. So this is how we can connect.
Yeah. And and that's our value. That really is our value, because, and thank you for saying that, because you reminded me of something. I've read this several places. There's an epidemic of isolation in the world right now. People feel isolated. There's mental health issues. There's all this stuff. And we are providing it. We're open. Like, this is the most open, welcoming community you'd ever see. A place for people to come and connect, right? In a place where people can belong and be part of. I got a great message last night from a guy who was like, that really, like, UFD's changed my life. I didn't change his life, right? The community has changed his life. Yeah. Right. Like, it's not just me. I mean, I guess, I started this, I'm the boss. No, I mean, it's the community that's doing it, and that the community had really changed. I mean, he gave me kudos for being the spark, right? But I'm not the fire. And people are lonely, and it's weird because we have this technology now where we are connected. Like, you and I, like, we're here, like, you're real, I'm real, but you're real too, right? There's you and I, and there's 400, 500 people live that are joining us, and people that'll watch this later, and we are all connected.
And I just love people in general. I just have a lot of love for people, and I like all the unique individuals that come here and post about UFD, or just seeing the creativity in the community. And some of it's like, I would have never thought to do that, or that's a little funny, or that's not really my sense of humor, but I'm going to like it anyway, because I appreciate you for your unique individuality.
Yeah, it's a very welcoming community. It blows me away, right, that we have people from every political ideology, economic class, skin color, religion, right? But somehow, in some magical unicorn way, seriously, everybody comes together and feels this, like, united sense of belonging within UFD, where, we aren't about we're just about, like, people being able to connect and feel like they're part of something. And I guess at the bottom line of it is good attracts good, right? We want to do good and give people, I think, a fair, I guess that's another part of it too, is this fair opportunity where they can trust, I guess they can trust me, right? Initially, because I was the developer, but they can trust each other, and they know that there's a fair, level playing field where they have a chance to make a difference, and they can get involved. And, I've heard that from a lot of people too. Like, this inspired me to learn about how to make graphic art, or it inspired me to make some music, or it inspired me to put on a DJ Litmus show, or whatever the case may be. So, for sure. Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's talk about Solana, right? Is it our native token? Is that the right way?
Yep.
Okay. Our native token, Solana. I'm pumped up about Solana. I was talking to the people at Ledger yesterday. We were talking about Solana, which, by the way, 6 months ago, I had no idea what Solana was, in full disclosure, but I've learned a lot in the last 5.5 months, and I'm excited about the future of Solana. There's a big deal coming up in New York here.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
The big like Solana conference. I forget what it's
Acceleration.
Accelerate.
Solana
Yeah.
event. I was just going to say, you thought Solana was on a sandwich.
Right. Salami. Yeah. We've got some upstairs. And look at this. I thought this was really cool. They are going to light up the Empire State Building with the Solana. Let me see if I can get that on the whole screen.
Cool.
Yeah, look at that.
I've never been to New York. I want to go someday.
I've never been to New York either.
New York City? You've never
Nope,
been?
never been to New York City. I've been all over the world, never to New York City. And David Goldstein is going to be the first ride in the Duster when we get out there. So
yes, that'll
yeah.
be cool.
So yeah, look at that. The big Solana. I mean, that looks cool.
That's the Empire State Building.
That's the Empire State
cool.
Building. Yep. I also thought this was interesting, and I wonder if you have any commentary on this, Elizabeth. And I have to, in full disclosure, Elizabeth has no idea what I'm pulling up during this show. I did not give her any prep.
Oh, gosh.
This came from Bitcoin Magazine that has almost 4 million followers. Just in, more Americans now own more Bitcoin than gold. And I thought that was very interesting. 50 million Americans own Bitcoin and 37 million Americans own gold.
What do they mean, though, by that?
That's
gold stocks or like gold physical? Because I have gold rings on.
Yeah, that's a good, I was kind of wondering that myself. And I was a little bit, that would mean that 50 million Americans, that would mean 1 in 6 Americans own Bitcoin.
Wow.
And does that mean they own it through a mutual fund that owns, stock and what is it, MicroStrategy or whatever it's called now? Or does it mean
ETFs or real actual Bitcoin? That's really cool, though. 50 million, that's more than the entire population of Canada.
Really? Yeah. Well, and to me, what it shows is that crypto is gaining in popularity. I mean, I love silver and gold, still love silver and gold. And I love crypto as well. The last 6 months have just been a very much an eye-opening experience for me. And, so it's just good to see. It just feels like the world is adopting crypto right now at a much more accelerated pace than, and I followed crypto over the last decade. But it feels like to me, which is really why in the last year, my stance on crypto, I was, 2-3 years ago was probably not a crypto hater, but I was definitely very skeptic. Good thing.
And you never bought it before? Like 10 years ago, you never bought Bitcoin or never thought about it? Or
No. Well,
you tried.
I'm one of those people when my daughters were infants 12 years ago. I spent 3 days learning about Bitcoin. I was fascinated by it. So I'm one of those people that can say, I almost bought, and it was Mt. Gox at the time.
Right.
But I did not buy it. But I learned, I was fascinated. I was kind of fascinated by Bitcoin 10, 12 years ago. Of course, I wish I'd bought it and held on to it, but I didn't, right?
I hear a lot of stories like that.
Yeah.
And then the people, they didn't know how to buy it, or they did, and then they lost over 200 Bitcoin because they don't remember their seed phrase and all of this. So
yeah. No, I remember it was about $10 when I was looking at it.
Yep.
Which is unbelievable to think what 10,000. But water under the bridge. We all could have bought Apple stock when it was $2, or there's all kinds of examples. And but no, I think it's just very interesting that the feeling that I get just in the general markets, because I follow it very, very closely. And I think there's no denying that the world is moving towards digital currencies, cryptocurrencies. And I understand. And again, I still love silver and gold, right? I always say silver is the original cryptocurrency. You hear that all the time. But, to me, it's like trying to avoid the fact that we went from a system like with mail in this country where everything came to your mailbox and it was paper, physical, mail. And then email came around. I remember email coming around in the early mid 90s and thinking, oh, this is weird. And, blah, blah, blah. But,
And there was a lot of scams through email as well. And people were like, oh, what is this? And then they didn't know and they clicked on it and they did something wrong. Or then the internet, even at that time, was like, oh, I don't know if this is really going to take off or or if people are going to people want physical paper, don't they? Like their bills, and how are they going to file it and organize it? And then eventually people figured it out. And it made life easier. So
and now mail, right? I mean, what comes in my mailbox is basically advertisements and big glossy. Most real mail information comes through email. So I think denying that that money and value isn't moving into more of a pure digital form is like saying, well, no, I'll never use email. Right. I only trust or I only use landline phones or whatever the case may be. And then there's so many benefits. And, I was thinking as I was thinking about you being here this morning, like, 6 months ago, I didn't know anything. I mean, I knew very little about crypto and I didn't own it. No, to answer your question from earlier, 6 months ago today, 6 months ago. So what is today? May 21st. So that would have been November 21st, if my math is correct, of last year. I'd never owned a crypto in my life. I really didn't know what Solana was. I heard a lot about XRP, obviously Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I followed the financial news, but I'd never owned. And I was thinking, like, if I'd met you, if we could be in a time machine and it was 6 months ago, I'm going to ask you to sell me on why I should consider buying some cryptocurrency.
You want me to sell you?
Yeah, sure. I'm putting you on the spot. She's not prepared.
Well, I started with Bitcoin and I only started about a year ago personally as well. And for me, the life-changing thing about it was just the fact that it's deflationary and you can actually, it's scarcer and scarcer. So it gains value as where fiat currency is inflationary. And so for me, that's the entire economy right now. A lot of people are struggling with that. So it was a no-brainer for me to hop in, and I kind of went in full force and just saw how amazing the community was and just did a deep dive into it. And I would just what else about it? Kind of putting
I put it on the spot. Well, I'll help out, right?
Okay.
Yeah, right. Well, it's funny because I wrote this yesterday, one of my little cards, which was, I changed it. It's now 3D, but I said D3, right? There's three things that start with the letter D, and you said one of them, scarcity. I call it digital scarcity.
Right. Yeah.
Right. There's only one UFD. There's only one Bitcoin, and there's only so many Bitcoin, and there's only so many UFD beans. I know Bitcoin is still mining, but that gets shut off at some point in the future.
2142.
Right.
In over 100 years, anyway.
Yeah. In that it's decentralized finance, which I love.
Well, that's a huge thing for me. Yeah, that was a big feature as well, because we saw a lot of things like Canada truckers protests and people got their bank accounts shut down, or even other private institutions can just freeze your bank accounts, and just having no CEO, being decentralized, peer-to-peer. I really like that about cryptocurrency.
Just so everybody understands, Elizabeth Grace is the CEO of Unicorn Fart Dust.
What?
And so are you, right?
Know.
I say it all right.
Oh, we are all the CEOs.
Well, we are. Yeah, we're all the CEOs, right?
Cool.
I mean, I always say, like, I'm not the CEO of Unicorn Fart Dust. I am that
would be cool merch. CEO.
I'm not the CEO, I mean, really, and that's decentral, like you said, right? There's no central authority that can really exert any influence over, let's say, Bitcoin, right? Also over UFD.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody is kind of on this equal footing. And that brings me to the third D. So digital scarcity, decentralized finance, and democratization, right? That it's like this, the people decide what has value.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
There's 15 million cryptos out there.
Well, because right now, isn't it, what is money really? We're just putting our faith and our trust in basically the government and the Federal Reserve and all of that. They can print money. And so it's no different really
Yeah.
like than putting your trust. Well, I would rather trust something like this where I know the community and I know it has value and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, anything that has value, you know, even silver, even gold, anything, the US dollar, right, is the value is there because a group of people agree that it's valuable. They're willing to pay a certain amount or put value into it.
Have you heard of the tulip story?
Oh, the tulip craze?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
those
sure. And
went for like millions of dollars.
Yeah, right. Because people decided they were worth money, you know, or they had a certain value to it. And yeah, you bring up a real critical point. And I won't speak very long on this, but it is true, right? Like the US dollar is controlled by the US Federal Reserve, right? This guy, he wants to say hello to Elizabeth, right? Our old friend, Jerome Powell. And I love Jerome Powell, right? But he can print money. Right? And I'm going to put him away for a week or so, but you know, they can, I mean, and that's a big deal because the US dollar under the best case scenario, this thing is designed to lose 2% of its value every year. That's under the best case. That's their goal, is to have it lose 2%. I mean, why should people go work? You know, let's say you and I go out and do some yard work for one of my neighbors today, and they pay us $100 each. So we put work in, and they're going to pay us with this stuff, right? That then if we just want to hold it and hold that value, it's going to lose value under the best. And, you know, a couple of years ago, it lost, some people say 15% in a year, 10% in a year with high inflation.
Right.
And,
yeah. I heard another saying that was like your house, you know, when you sell it, it usually goes up in value, right? But then, isn't that just that the dollar is losing value or something? It's not that your house is really going up.
No,
in that sense.
It's the unit of measure that you use to measure things. I mean, here's an ounce of silver, right? And people say, well, what's it worth? And this is a real key point. That's a unicorn. Can you guys see that? Yeah. Anyway, if you use the dollar as the unit of measure for this, right? Well, when it goes up in value measured in dollars, what's really happening is that the dollars are just becoming less valuable.
Right.
And people in, this is a really interesting concept and one that takes a while for most people to grasp, including me, is that like, if you're thinking of, when I'll use precious metals as an example, people say, don't measure your wealth in precious metals in dollars, measure it in ounces. How many ounces of silver do I have? How many ounces of gold do I have? How many Bitcoin do I have?
Satoshis.
Yeah, people measure it. Oh, the Bitcoin's worth $108,000. Well, here's the deal, okay? And this is an absolute truth. Whether you're talking about Bitcoin, UFD, gold or silver, whatever, ultimately, you know, no fiat currency has lasted. That's a fact. There's thousands of them that have been, created and have lost their value, gone away over time. Eventually, the price measured, if you're using the dollar or any other paper currency, could almost go to infinity. And you know, people suffer from what's called recency bias, right? I'm 55 years old, and my whole life, the dollar has had value. So I don't like to think, it's hard to conceptualize, because our entire life, the Canadian dollar has had value. The US dollar has had some value. But at some point, these things, you know, if history does indeed give us a lesson, they become worth a lot less.
Right.
I'm sorry, I went on a rant about the dollar.
I'm learning. I didn't go to school for economics, so
you didn't go to Karl Marx University. No. I know a lot about communist economics. All right, let's go out. Elizabeth is doing some unbelievable stuff for the UFD community and for the crypto community as well. I want to show you guys, she's doing a weekly update. Let's see if I can get this pulled up for us here. And here we go. Is this it? Watch again. Watch this video, the most recent video of Faust Park here in St. Louis. This is kind of fun. We'll watch the beginning.
Yeah.
It's Faust Park.
the unicorn stuff I found there.
Yeah, let's see how many unicorns do you think she can find. Let's see, 11. If you ever need to do any unicorn shopping, go to the gift shop at the House Park Carousel.
It's meant to be. This is in your neck of the woods.
Hold on. Susie says, did I not share the right name?
Oh,
Oh, darn. I screwed up finally. You knew it was going to happen, guys. Hold on.
Hey, Dustin.
Start over. Yep, I got you. Yep, there we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to live streaming with Ron in the basement. People seeing us. There she is at the carousel. Yeah.
That's a cute one.
Unicorn counter.
You got the point. There's a
lot of unicorns. You need to go shopping for unicorns. All right.
Okay, guys.
So here. All right. There she is.
Hey,
at the park.
Dusters.
You can go watch the rest of that one if you like. But I want to go down and show you what she's doing on a there you were a year ago. And there's the extreme tornadoes in St. Louis. There she is. This is her weekly update video, which is, I think, just awesome. 2 minutes? But just really, it does two things. It gives a great overview of what is going on in crypto. And there we go. Make sure we got the right one up. And it's spreading the word about Unicorn Fart Test. So let's watch just the first few seconds.
Howdy, crypto wranglers. Welcome to the corral where we're galloping through the wildest crypto news. Brought to you by Unicorn Fart Test Meme Coin. Bitcoin's consolidating around 103K after smashing a record weekly close last night at 106.5K. I predict we'll see Bitcoin around 150K by year end. Leave your predictions in the comments. Solana's charging around 160 and Ethereum steady around 2,400. A healthy pullback with some choppiness last week, but the market looks ready to sparkle. So let's saddle up to the top stories. Coinbase last sold a spot in the S&P 500, boosting its shares 8%.
Yeah, Coinbase.
Mega bull.
Coinbase go. So make sure, everybody, that you watch that. Let me go out and show you her. There she is there. Elizabeth Grace. If you go onto Twitter, follow her. Watch the weekly videos and share these weekly videos, because I think it's a great way for us to attract more people into the Unicorn Fart Test ecosystem, right? Like you're repping UFD, but you're giving some great, like a general brief update, and you're smiling and you're happy.
Move the screen. Poor Elizabeth looks crazy eyes, and you have it stuck on.
I have what?
He has it stuck on Crazy Eye Elizabeth's screenshot. The one of me in the news report.
Oh, this one? Oh, well, you're not. This is what people see. Hi, everybody. Oh, here, let's look at Crazy Eyed Elizabeth.
Oh,
here.
no.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I try not to watch. I just put them out and I don't watch it.
Ladies don't want to see ourselves like that.
Oh, okay. It's fine. I don't care.
Okay. Hey, Susie, we forgot to say hi to you. You want to say hi to Elizabeth and in the community?
Hello, everybody. Hey, reminder about the Vesta meetup. FYI.
Okay, thanks, sweetie. We love you. All right, hold on here. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Shoot, sorry.
Yeah, she said it was just me.
That was the crazy eyes. Yep, she does not have crazy eyes. I've got crazy eyes. Okay, yeah, they ring the bell. She does not have. Look at her, huh? She's no crazy eyes. When I first started YouTube, they called me Mr. Crazy Eyes because, as you may know, hold on a second.
Why did they call you that?
I can't. We can't understand what you're saying. Please hold the walkie about 8 to 10, 12 inches from your mouth.
You're good now.
We're good now.
Okay. Thank you, sweetheart. We love you. We love you. Okay. High five from Susie. No, they called me Mr. Crazy Eyes because I was so nervous when I would do my initial that I wouldn't blink. And people would watch my videos and they wouldn't leave nice comments. They would say, "Is this guy a robot? He never blinks."
Oh, I've gotten that before.
So I'm blinking. Yeah. Because you
AI robot.
Yeah, because I was so and they would say, "I think it's AI, I think he's a robot." And like, well, what about the video? Did you like that? Like, no, we didn't like the video, but you know, you never blinked the whole time. Where was I?
Oh yeah, and I put those little crypto news videos on my YouTube and TikTok as well. And my sister, who knows nothing about crypto, now she's learning. So I like that. It's just it kind of makes it easier to digest and kind of colorful and fun. Yeah, I think for the average person. You are a very you're a very welcoming, wholesome. Like people are, I think, going to be. You have the ability to attract a lot of buttercups. Do you know what a buttercup is? It's a flower.
Yeah. The buttercups, right? The people that aren't dusters yet. Yeah. I really think that you are going to be able to attract a lot of new people into Unicorn Fart Dust. So thank you for doing that, and hopefully, and also hopefully you will serve, because this is new for you, right? Creating video. Yes. A year ago, let's say 6 months ago. I'm down here. I've never owned crypto, right? You just sold me on crypto. Good job. Okay. Yeah. You did a great job. But 6 months ago, right now, were you making videos? No, never made videos. Like very, very little to do with it. I'm a biologist, so I've completely transitioned and I'm learning all of this. It's just really fun for me just to learn new things. So yeah. Well, so 6 months ago, I didn't know anything about crypto, right? And 6 months ago, she didn't know anything about videos. Now she's making great videos. I've been making videos for 3 years, right? and so now she's making videos, and I bought crypto. So yeah, it's like it's good to learn new things. It's good to get out there and try new things. So Elizabeth, what did I forget? Anything else we need to talk about before I forget? Yes, we are having a duster meetup on June 20th. There's some information out there. You can reach out to the team, info@unicornfartdust.com if you're interested. We are doing a meetup event. We have like 40 people signed up so far. Yeah, so there will be limited space. So if you're interested, reach out to the people at info@unicornfartdust. And the duster will be there, the new promo car. Okay. Yep. Yep, I just talked about it. Thank you. She's on a delay, so she doesn't know what there's like a 5-second delay. Right. Anything else? Anything before we bid farewell that I forgot to talk about, or any burning desire? We'll see you at the Bitcoin conference, and that'll be cool in a week. So yeah, definitely a lot more promotion happening there. I'll try to get out a few more videos, and good. I'm excited. Good. Well, thank you for joining us on behalf of our viewer, the most important person here, right? Thank you, right? Thank you for having me. And thank you to everyone out there who's joined us. I mean, really, right? We're in the basement. You're maybe in your family room. Maybe you're at work. Who knows where you are? Somewhere in the world, but you're important. You matter, right? We always end by reminding ourselves, be good to ourselves first. Gives us a great foundation from which we can be good to other people. And thanks everybody for being here. And I will see you tomorrow.